Hi everyone, today we're going to be creating custom brushes in Photoshop. To get started, open up Photoshop and go over to Create New and open up any documents that you wish. It doesn't matter, we're not going to be actually creating a piece of artwork in this session. We're just going to be showing how to create custom brushes itself. So why are custom brushes used? Custom brushes are a great time-saving device. Often when we're creating a piece of concept art, we can get very engrossed in the detail. Custom brushes kind of sorts out that problem for us and allows us to focus on much more important things like form, scale, contrast, etc. etc. There's numerous ways we can go about creating custom brushes. For example, if I wanted to create a tree custom brush, I could actually download an image and just drag and drop that into Photoshop. Now what I can do to turn this image into a custom brush, which basically means that I can paint with this as opposed to copying hundreds of these to create a forest, for example. What I can do is go over to the marquee tool at the very top left here, and I'm just going to drag a box around everything I want to turn into the brush. So whatever's in this box will become the custom brush. Just be very aware of that. With that done, go up to the top left and click on Edit. And about 2/3 of the way down, there's an option that says Define Brush Preset. When you click on that, you will get a little preview of your brush with the number, which can be very good for actually finding your brush if you build up a huge library. And you can change the name. So for this one, I'm just going to call it Tree 1 and click OK. And I'm just going to deselect everything. And now what I can do is I can select a new layer in the bottom right, go back over to the left onto my paintbrush tool, and you can see that I have that brush. And I can now paint with it. So we have a custom brush, and we can do this with any image. We can also create something itself in Photoshop and then turn that into a custom brush. We're basically not limited with this. But we can go even further. So currently, if I paint, I just create the same thing. If we go up to the top left here, there's a little folder icon with a brush on it. And this opens up all of the settings of our brush. So we can turn on and off smoothing, which creates this effect here. So you can see that instead of the image being very clear, it smooths it out, it creates a brush stroke. We can go up to things like shape dynamics and turn up size jitter, which basically means that each time we brush with this, the brush will change size. So particularly if I was creating a forest in this instance, that would be very good to break up the form. We can change the angle slightly if you want it to rotate. And every so often we can make the brush flip. And to do that, we just change the flip X jitter or change the flip Y jitter if you need it to go upside down. Scattering is a very good one to vary the brush as well. You can see that if we turn that up, it changes the distance from the horizontal axis there. And we can go through all of these and we can change all sorts of settings. Don't worry too much about messing things up. You will see a preview of what effect each element has on your brush. So if you don't like something, you can simply turn it off. So with that done, I just reduce the size of my brush a little bit. There, you can see the difference that's made, and we get a really lovely tree line. We could actually go one step further. If we open up the brush settings panel again, we can go to color dynamics and we can change the jitter of the colors. So basically this is saying that the color will change as we paint. So if I select a kind of like a dark green, something like that, you can see that the colour changes. So although I've just taken basically the first image I found off of Google, you can see very quickly how much detail I can create in my painting. Now obviously you can see that everything's very flat, so I need my normal concept art rules of creating depth, creating perspectives, etc, etc. But the raw time taken to create this forest is basically nothing at all, and that's all because of our ability to create custom brushes.